Ah, so he still uses this. Wow, par time 16 minutes. I want to see how many secrets I missed. Yeah, I definitely missed some. Huh, I'm almost 40 minutes. Ha, to be continued. So is this like the last map? Alright, so let's give my thoughts on Techbase M4. All I gotta say is this is definitely a good map. Definitely worth the wait, even though, you know, it's been so long. Let's start off with the good parts of this map, because I definitely got some criticism. But I feel like they're not really a big of a deal. But yeah, let me rate it up here. Alright. So the thing I love about this map is that it's done in like a much higher standard than what the previous tech-based maps were. Like most of those maps, you could probably beat them in maybe like what 10 minutes or even less if you really knew what you were doing. This map is like so much bigger, so much more like jam-packed with content, and I like that because, you know, like it's been a long time and it's really nice to see like Techbase M4 really kind of like pushed it, you know, pushed that standard much higher, and there's a lot more to it. And just kind of like a lot of Void Runner maps, I do like a lot of the fights. A lot of them felt different, but they were also fun. I do feel like some of them kind of felt more strategic than others. Like there were some fights where I was kind of like mindlessly roaming around, but then there were moments where I'm like, oh wow, this is kind of like unsuspecting. Like, what is it? The moment where I picked up that super shotgun, that one definitely kind of caught me off guard by how strategic I had to be, especially fighting like, I think I was fighting like two Mankabai and two Barons at the same time, and there's like no health pack there. Like that definitely got me a little bit, you know, worried because I didn't want to die. And not only that, I think this is the first session where I played all maps and I did not die. So I guess that's definitely an achievement for me. But let's keep talking about Techbase M4. So yeah, that's one thing I really like. The fights were definitely good. Without a doubt, the visual design was absolutely beautiful. I loved so much of like the sceneries here. Definitely love like a lot of the roof decoration. I think there's a lot more to it, to the roof decoration, than what like the previous maps were. At least like that's how I felt. And I definitely kind of liked the modern skybox too, because in the in the first three maps they were pretty much just all the episode 1 skybox. So I thought like this whole space theme did kind of make it feel a little bit interesting and all that stuff. Is there any more stuff I can talk that's great about this map? So I talked about it. It's really good looking. It plays good. I think that's enough. All right. So what's my problem with this map? I do feel like this map does kind of have a bit of an identity crisis, because I was really shocked that there was so many areas that didn't kind of like give me that episode 1 feeling. Like, you know, the first 3 maps, like I feel like those maps can totally work well. If like someone wants to make like a SnapMap campaign that pays homage to like, you know, episode 1. While this level, it does have those moments. Like there are moments where I definitely felt it, but at the same time, I was feeling a lot of like episode 2, episode 3 vibe in there. And not only that, that Hellish Arena, the first Hellish Arena, I really love like how that was designed, but at the same time, it kind of reminded me of Sunder, which definitely kind of feels a little weird, because, you know, I thought like this was like a tech-based themed campaign, but there's definitely like a lot more to this. More to this map. Like it's not just tech-based. There's a lot of like other stuff to it. And I'm kind of mixed with it. Like on one side, I like it because I do feel like I said in one of like my when I was playing, like I think I mentioned like some area where there's like a lot of tech base and kind of like hellish environment. It kind of gave me like that sense of feeling where like this area has been invaded. And there were moments where I definitely felt that, but then there were moments where I feel like this kind of feels almost like an area that kind of designed more for like a hellish themed classic Doom style snap map, which definitely kind of feels weird, because, you know, I look at Techbase to be more like a campaign that pays homage to episode 1. So that's one criticism. What is it? Oh yeah, the first one, like the first criticism right off the bat. I kind of didn't understand why we started off with only a pistol. You know, I thought this was kind of like you know, kind of like a throwback to the classic Doom campaign where we kind of, I mean, where we basically transfer our weapons. Like, what is it? Map 2, Map 3, we had that access. But why does this map, we don't have it anymore? So that's kind of like another, like, point I could add where I do feel like this map does got a bit of identity crisis. Like, there are things that totally makes Techbase M4 feel like, a tech base like a tech based map, but then there are stuff where it makes me feel like this map kind of feels like a standalone classic Doom SnapMap campaign, but a very good standalone Doom classic campaign. And is there anything else I could criticize? I think that's really it. It's definitely a good map. Like, this is my favorite map that I played out of all the session, and I definitely enjoyed it from start to scratch. I definitely love the exploration too. I want to say that I love how some of these secrets are very tricky to find, like that chainsaw secret. I had no idea how to grab that chainsaw secret, man. But you could tell I was definitely having a lot of fun trying to explore and just trying to look for every nook and cranny the best I can possibly can to look for that chainsaw. And not only that, there was another secret that I missed out too. So it's definitely nice. There's certain secrets that are very tough to find, and it's going to encourage me to come back and replay it. But with that said, I definitely like this map. This is definitely a good map for sure. I'll probably say it's definitely one of my favorite Void Runner maps for sure. And it definitely followed up Techbase, 1 to M3 very well. I guess I'll say it's definitely one of my favorites too. Even though, I do feel like it kind of feels like a standalone map, but at the same time, I really love how this map definitely got more going on than the first 3 tech-based maps. Like I said, the first 3 maps, they were very short and kind of straightforward, while this one, there's so much more content, there's so much more stuff to it. There's a lot more personality, I guess, if that's the right word. But with that said, Techbase M4, finally played it, definitely enjoyed it. And that's going to be the end of this live comm session. With that said, I'm probably going to... I don't know when I'm going to do another live comm session, because first of all, Wolfenstein 2 is coming out pretty soon, and I know I'm going to be very busy playing that game. I'm also busy with mapping Secluded. I only got one more map to go, so I need to just focus on that. And I've been slacking off on my mapping time lately. There are moments where I had so much time to map, but then I just lost desire and motivation for some reason. So I need to really try to encourage me to do that. But with that said, guys, thank you for watching this live comm session, and like always, stay tuned for more SnapMap videos whenever I have the time to make them. And I really enjoyed all these maps, even though there are moments where I might criticize some of these maps pretty heavily, but I did really enjoy all of these maps. These maps were not bad maps at all. It's not some of the maps that I played in my earlier live comm sessions, where some of those maps were just so bad, or they just felt like they weren't really respecting my time. But all of these maps that I played, I felt like they were worth my time. And yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more SnapMap content.